Okay, so first let's paint the sky then. Now if you look carefully at this sky, the sun is here, and then here we've got this light cloud, which is basically red paint, and then coming down here we've got a purple cloud. As you can see, this purple cloud actually comes down too far, so be careful not to bring the cloud down too far. So let's have a go at that. So I've got some multimedia paper here, and I'm using this because it's okay for watercolor, and it's also half the price of watercolor paper, so much cheaper, and it actually, watercolors look very good on this paper, to be honest. So here we go. I'm going to make 4 squares. So draw a line down and draw a line across, and in this square we're going to paint a sky. So this is just a warm-up. So the first thing I do is wet the paper. So you don't want too much water on the paper, like a pool effect or a puddle. That's too wet. At the same time, you don't want dry patches. Hopefully you'll do something in between those two. There we go, nice and wet. Of course, when you're doing a bigger area, you have to work very quickly because it will dry. It's always drying, and the bigger the area, then it takes longer to wet it, and because it takes longer time, it's going to dry very, very quickly. Whereas this, it's easy to wet it in a short time, and so it hasn't dried out too much yet. Then I'm going to get some red. That's too strong. Water down. Okay, let's try. Maybe a little bit weaker. So I'm going to start in this corner and come down, and then over, and then one more going up, and maybe just one more. So 1, 2, 3, 4 humps. Keep it very, very simple. And then we want this red to fade off at the bottom, so I wet this, dab it. That's a bit strong still. Dab it. And that's fainter. Just join them together. And next I'm going to do the purple cloud coming down here. So I get some blue, I get a little bit of red, and now we have to be careful, because if this is very wet and this is also very wet, then it's going to spread a lot, and so we've got very little control over the shape, so we don't want that to happen. So I'm just waiting a little for this to dry a bit, and I can also dab this on the cloth, and that will make a slightly thicker mix with less water in it. And now I'm going to try. So I want this cloud to be wide at the top, and then as it comes down to get thinner. But as you can see, it's spread a lot here, so I should have waited a bit longer. But this is why we're doing the warm-up, so we get a feel for what's going to happen, and hopefully we're going to be more prepared, and we can control the result a little better. Okay, So very simple, just wide here and then getting smaller like that. And it's actually, oh no, it's still wet there. I thought the paper had gone dry there, but it's still wet. Next, I'm going to get some tissue and we're going to do highlights. So we fold the tissue, then fold again, and fold again. And then I've got this corner. I might even fold it one more time, this corner, and I'm going to go around the outside of this purple cloud, and as you can see, I'm creating this wonderful highlight. Now I do need this red above the purple in order to show this white highlight, because if it's just white paper we're not going to see anything. So try and make sure you've got some red cloud above the purple one, and then you get this effect. You can also use this technique to make the edges nicer, which I'll do in a minute, but I have to show you, once it gets too dirty you need to find a new corner and then use that. And there we go. So we've got a lovely soft sky effect.